Hey, wait, I know you. You're that person I know on social media, the one with the perfect life, perfect job, perfect family, plenty of money, travels the world, lots of friends, and no stress. I also know that you don't actually exist. Welcome to the Mission Happy Lab, and thanks for tuning in to Choosing Happy. Today, we're going to be looking at life's challenges and the resilience it takes to bounce back from them. I'm Kathleen, and I, like you, have been faced with many challenges and stressors that have shaped the person that you see before you. At the taping of this episode, March of 2024, we as a people have been through a bunch of stuff in the last few years that we didn't ask for and didn't necessarily see coming. And it feels like catastrophes just continue to pop up like a desperate game of whack-a-mole. This is life. You face challenges every day, no matter how perfect you think you and your life are. So what can we do to face these challenges and get to the other side of them while still creating the happiness that we deserve? Problems appear and they aren't going anywhere unless you face them and solve them. It would seem that acknowledging your problems, solving them, and getting on with your life is a skill that we could all benefit from. Health crisis, workplace issues, emptiness, friendship issues, failure, financial crisis, career pressure, injustice, personal loss, mental health issues. These are just some of the many big life challenges that you may have already faced or may have in your future. They happen, and there's often no way around them. Every one of us will inevitably have difficulties and challenges as we go through life. We will fail tests, not make a team, have a sick friend or family member. We'll get sick ourselves. As we face life's challenges, we may find ourselves feeling sad, angry, tense, or anxious, comforted by others and feeling cared for and supported, and maybe even proud of how we face or bounce back from the challenge. Resilience is the ability to deal with life's challenges and misfortunes. Is it something you're born with, or can it be learned and enhanced? Now, despite what countless articles, books, and social media suggest, human beings are not designed to feel happy all of the time. Negative emotions serve a purpose, both evolutionarily and emotionally. Think of emotions such as sadness, stress, and anxiety as red flags that your mind wants you to pay attention to. Sadness and other negative feelings indicate that we need to make a change. If you're angry, for example, it likely means there's an injustice that you want to correct. If you're anxious, there may be a threat you need to attend to. And if you're sad, it means you care about a situation so deeply that it's causing you distress. Negative feelings can also serve as the catalyst you need to transition to a better place in your life. You know, door closes, window opens. Training for resilience can change the brain to, make it more resilient. Much of the new evidence suggests that with a little practice, anyone can develop resilience. There are lots of ways to intervene so that stress or trauma doesn't derail you. There is no one-size-fits-all, and challenges don't necessarily have to register as big. The hot and cold boss, the traffic delays, the spat with your spouse, the monthly bills. These are all registered as stress to the brain. But the countless smaller stresses also take a toll, and resilience is a big deal because nearly all of our modern ills, including heart disease and possibly even brain disorders like Alzheimer's disease, have stress as a common risk factor. In ancient and prehistoric times, it was usually predators that triggered our stress, but that is not necessarily the case with modern humans. Some research shows that even feelings of social pain like rejection and loneliness zoom along the same neural pathways as fear. The notion that you're going to be rejected or fail or won't be accepted by the group activates the same circuits as if you'd seen a wolf. It's evolutionary wiring left over from when our ancestors survived only in groups. The problem is, even though we're no longer bumping into wolves, we're constantly activating the same neural pathways of fear with everyday stressors, worrying about the future and fretting about the past. The more we use this neuronal superhighway, the more efficient it grows, and this mode of thinking becomes our default. But new research shows humans can train their brains to build and strengthen different connections that don't reinforce the fear circuit. Over time, if people use this new pathway enough, it can become the new response to stress. Okay, so it sounds like resilience as a skill is something that is in our best interest, but let me be clear, it really does look different on everyone. Although a challenge or crisis may have you feeling helpless, it is important to acknowledge that there are still many things that are in your control, important things that just might more easily help to process and even perhaps solve the situation. Let's explore some strategies of what might be a good resilience battle plan. Experts say that thinking about how you've dealt with adversity in the past can help you navigate stressful situations today and in the future. Consider the following questions to determine how you can best respond to current challenges. What kinds of events have been most stressful for me? How have those events typically affected me? To whom have I reached out before for support in working through a traumatic or stressful experience? What have I learned about myself and my interactions with others during difficult times? Has it been helpful for me to assist someone else going through a similar experience? Have I been able to overcome obstacles, and if so, how? What has helped make me feel more hopeful about the future? Being able to answer any or all of these questions might give you some insight into what might work for you in future situations. Support is crucial. Having a strong network of social support is critical to resilience. Very few highly resilient individuals are strong in and by themselves. You know full well that bringing a friend to a scary or stressful event will keep you calmer, and they will often keep your mind off of what is making you nervous. It is often said, too, that talking about scary things makes them less scary. In an interesting twist, scientists have learned that working the body's muscles makes people's minds more resilient as well. That's because exercise also spurs the development of new neurons, which are quite literally damaged by stress. Over time, regular exercise can actually tamp down a person's stress response. A Harvard study found that mindfulness is an area which people would do well to improve, since people spend 47% of their waking hours thinking about things other than what they're actually doing. And as we've seen before, mindfulness does have a calming effect. Meditation is also a very effective resilience skill. In fact, the more experienced the meditator, the more quickly the brain recovers from stress. Studies show that meditation can even help decrease expression of pro-inflammatory genes, and these changes aren't just changes during the meditation itself, but they're changes that persist beyond that. Other tips for improved resilience include developing a core set of beliefs that nothing can shake, trying to find meaning in whatever stressful or traumatic thing has happened, a silver lining, trying to maintain a positive outlook. Not always possible, but we should certainly try. Modeling someone you know who is especially resilient. Facing the things that scare you, or at least trying to. Learning new things as often as you can. Again, we're creating new neuronal pathways. And trying not to beat yourself up or dwell on the past. The past is not where you're headed. I do hope that you give this discussion some real thought and consider the Resilience Battle Plan a framework for developing your own set of skills and practices for when life's challenges come your way. If you thought of a friend or family member as you watch this episode, please consider sharing it with them or anyone else that might benefit from this information. Thank you for checking in with the Mission Happy Lab and learning about challenges and resilience. Please like, share, and subscribe as it broadens our reach. By all means, reach out to me in the comments if you have any questions about what was discussed in this episode. Please make an extra effort to be kind to one another, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Choosing Happy.